All right, my friends, we have set the stage. We started out talking in this chapter about homostasisness and how our body is trying to maintain a steady environment on the inside. We've talked about the enemies. They have come and faced us. Bacteria and viruses, all out to get us. How are we going to win this battle? I wish I could have a Rocky theme or something playing along with this, but I can't. The immune system is what God has put in place in such an incredible design to protect us. There are so many little tiny pieces that all fit together just right for us to be protected. And the very first one, the easiest one to take care of, are the barriers. These are the first line of defense. Well, what sort of barriers do you have to keep viruses and bacteria out of your life? There's three that I can think of. The most important one is your skin. Why do we cover up a cut with a Band-Aid? So it doesn't get infected. What's it mean that it gets infected? It means bacteria has gotten under your skin and is trying to eat you alive. So we put a Band-Aid on it. Our skin is one of the most important parts of our immune system. By keeping our skin healthy, by keeping our skin whole, we prevent untold millions or billions or trillions of microbes from getting inside of our body. We also have on top of our skin friendly microbes, friendly bacteria that protects us when we use excessive antibacterial soap, when we are constantly scrubbing every inch of our body constantly, we are also getting rid of the good bacteria that protects us. I have to be careful on that one. There's two more partners that guard the entrances into our body. One of them is good old Mr. Mucus. We love Mr. Mucus. Think about your body. Think about all the openings in your body. What are they like? They have mucus at the openings. Why? Well, mucus is slightly acidic. And when bacteria flies up your nose, gets into your mouth, gets into your ears, gets into your eyes, the mucus that it is there has chemical properties to fight the bacteria. Does it win all the time? No, not all the time. And sometimes we help it not to win, like sticking our hands in our eyes or putting our fingers in our mouth when our hands are dirty. All of those things. But mucus is there lining all of the entrance ways of our body with a slightly acidicness to try and prevent foreign bodies from entering. And the really big entrance spot that you have is your digestive system. Your digestive system, you open up your mouth and you put stuff in it, and you allow that stuff to go down into your stomach. Your stomach has a high level of hydrochloric acid in it. Not only does that help food to dissolve, but it also protects from bacteria. Now, can we override these things? Sure we can. But in our bodies, so long as we keep these healthy and strong, we do great value in trying to keep ourselves from infection from bacteria and viruses. There is no way you're going to avoid being in contact with pathogens, bacteria, viruses. So there's two different ways that our body protects us, two different ways that we can manage against these onslaught. The first one is called the innate response. These are the responses we're born with. And the second one is called the acquired response, the responses our body builds as it encounters pathogens. And we'll talk more about these guys. But I really like this picture that I put on here. Both of these men that are standing there have arms. That's a given. They both have skeletal bones. They both have muscles. They both have blood vessels going through. both of them have arms that are able to do things. That would be sort of like the innate response. You're born with these things. They're there. You don't even have to think about them. They're there. But both of these men have been working out. Both of these men probably lift weights. Both of these men are extremely strong. They have changed how healthy or how well their muscles work, how strong they are. This is similar to the acquired response. It is something that happens to our body as we encounter pathogens. They actually help us in the future. We're going to first look at the innate response and things that our body does without us even thinking, without us training it, without us ever telling it that, oh my goodness, if you meet a bacteria, this is what you need to do. One of the things your body does is it raises the pH. If you notice sometimes you might be getting sick, your stomach gets kind of queasy. Your mouth just tastes funny. You have, maybe it hurts to pee. All of those things are your body attempting to raise the acidicness of your body so that it can fight some foreign bacteria or virus that's trying to attack you. It's actually trying to help. How about raising your temperature? Why do you get a fever when you get sick? Well, you get a fever when you get sick because your body is trying to roast the viruses and the bacteria. They know, your body knows that there is a range of tolerance for viruses and bacteria, and your body is trying to get your own body to get high enough to get rid of those bacteria and virus. Now, this is why doctors often tell you that if you have a fever of 101 or below, you should try and drink lots of fluids, get lots of rest, but not take anything to try and get rid of the fever, because your fever is working for you. When you get above 101, usually your doctor will tell you to take something. That again is not medical advice. That's something that I've observed doctors doing. You just have to check with your own doctor when you get sick. But temperature rising is your innate response to your body trying to get rid of the pathogen that's entered you. Another thing your body does is it increases swelling. And we're going to come back to this one because this involves the lymphatic system. It involves the white blood cells going around. It's really an important way that our body tries to fight things. You have lymph nodes in your throat, and you notice sometimes when you start to get a sore throat that your throat is all swollen. We'll come back to this one. But these are different types of innate responses that your body does. Now we have a term to use, antigen. An antigen is anything that causes an immune response. It may not cause a disease, but it does cause your immune system to respond to it. Antigen. We're going to come back to this word often. So if an antigen is detected by your body, what does your body do? Your body releases a chemical called histamines. And sometimes it over-releases them. Sometimes it releases just enough. But if an antigen is located, if something is found by your immune system, immediately histamines are released. Well, why? Why are histamines? Why would we want these things? Because this is what histamines do. They cause swelling. They make capillaries leaky, which signals white blood cells. They give you a runny nose, swollen eyes, watery eyes. You just feel lousy. Why? Why is this a good thing? Because histamines release the beast. The beast happens to be white blood cells. They're the part of your body that is responsible for destroying invaders. They seek them out, they destroy them. They are a key, main part of your immune system. Another word for white blood cells, or WBCs, is phagocytes, or phagocytes, depending on if you want to have the G silent. Phagocytes. So sometimes we're going to call them phagocytes, sometimes we're going to call them white blood cells. A lot of times I'm just going to write WBC. So these are the chief destroyers of the pathogens. Now we have two different kinds. We have the leukocytes. These are the white blood cells that are associated with the innate response. And we just talked about the innate response, how your body starts to get a rash, it might raise your pH, it might be getting a temperature. Those are the leukocytes. And the lymphocytes are associated with the acquired response, and we'll talk about those guys in a few minutes. Leukocytes and lymphocytes. So let's look at the leukocytes, the innate response. Their job? To engulf and destroy pathogens. Think about Pac-Man. They do it. Dun, 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 dun. Their job is to seek them out. And they have two different ways of doing it. They can be the type of leukocytes that have a specific pathogen that they're looking for, or a specific antigen that they're looking for. That's one kind of leukocytes. Or, I love this, finally scientists have come up with a great name. I mean, forever we've talked about how scientists have just kind of made science harder because they come up with names that sound the same, like mitosis, meiosis. Couldn't you have come up with some other one that sounded totally different? This time, I don't know who it was that named this guy, but it's great. Natural born killer cells. A good name. These guys just rove around. They don't have a specific pathogen they're looking for. They don't have a specific antigen they're looking for. They just look around for pathogens to seek and destroy. However, not all antigens are bad. Now, pathogens, I gave you that word. Pathogens is a disease-causing, lost the word. It causes diseases. But an antigen is anything that causes your immune system to respond. And you know and I know that there are many, many people who have allergic reactions to pollen or dust or nuts or eggs or milk. My grandson has an allergic response to peanut butter and milk and eggs. What a bummer. These things in and of themselves, they're not dangerous. I've never been afraid of an egg, but in some people's bodies, these antigens cause an immune response, and our body releases histamines like crazy. Allergies, by definition, are overreaction of histamines to non-dangerous organisms. Now, does that mean that they're non-dangerous to the person that has an allergy? No, absolutely not. For some reason, their body is responding incorrectly, and a person can actually die from an allergic reaction. It's nothing to take lightly. One of the drugs that we use, and maybe you have never even heard about, you never thought of it when you've mentioned this word, we use antihistamines to combat allergies. Maybe you have hay fever in the fall or in the springtime when the flowers and the pollen and all that good stuff. You take an antihistamine. Well, take that word apart. Antihistamine. So an allergy is an overreaction of the histamines, and we have medicines that hopefully quell them down. Now, I have a homework assignment for you today. I would like you to do on the paper that says words to thrill. Nope, I'm reading you the wrong one. I'm sorry. I should tell you that. Scratch that line and go back. What I'd like you to do is okay, it's this one. It's called The First Line of Defense. It's one of the several pages that you have to read, and then there's questions at the end of it. It's called First Line of Defense. It is 2 or 3 pages long, and then it has some questions at the end for you to answer. All right, that's what I have for you to do for homework. All right, guys, see you later.